talking point. And we want that you have to really give a maximum exposure to the West Coast because I attend LADA meeting as a media journalist during every period of the ambassador. They invited me. But the thing is that I see the very low participation from the West Coast and California because California has a lot of hidden, very huge entrepreneur businessmen. The possibility are very good for the Pakistan. So we should get the maximum exposure to the West Coast. West Coast should be taken as East Coast taken important Santa Barbara to San Diego to Seattle to Denver, Colorado to Las Vegas to Silicon Valley to Hollywood industry, and second largest seaport is here. And huge.
Khazab, for this comprehensive roundup of what you do and your expectations and your plans for the future. Economy and economic diplomacy is a very important part of what we do. In fact, it should be a very important part of what we do. And it is a key and very high priority with the government and with the embassy. For me personally, also as someone who has basically worked for many years, on economic and development issues in our system. So, West Coast, California, is the fifth largest economy in the world. So you don't have to even convince me about the potential and prospects that you have. Obviously, and historically also, when people come to United States, usually, they come to the East Coast. We are trying to shift and bring more balance, and for that reason, in fact, Los Angeles was where we had our first tech summit. And in fact, even the follow-up summit was also planned there. And I was myself planning to come down to the West Coast because this was, I think, Silicon Valley offers the tremendous possibilities and potential. But then I think this past almost 1 year now, unfortunately, been wasted on account of COVID. Wasted in the sense that we've not been able to undertake physical travels, unable to, reach out physically with the companies. But frankly, that has not stopped us from staying in touch. And in some ways, we have actually further upgraded and intensified our outreach. There is not a week that would go by without my reaching out to either the CEO or very senior executives of some of the leading companies in United States, and we've been, I must say, lucky also. It is a kind of windfall for us that COVID entails less time involvement and it makes it easier for some of the senior executives to spare 30 minutes to get to talk to the ambassador or to the economic team of the embassies and consulates. And for that reason, we've been able to, reach out to a number of companies, and we plan to do that for more. And of course, our diaspora is a very important bridge between Pakistan and United States. And as Prime Minister said it, and this was clearly the consensus or the agreement that came out very clearly during the 3 summit meetings that the Prime Minister and President Trump had in terms of building up and strengthening the investment, business and trade relationship, and that enhancing trade by 20 times. Now, for that to happen, I think people like yourself will have to come forward. Los Angeles, you mentioned a number of names, and that actually made me feel a little nostalgic because first Consul General Aziz Ahmad Khan was my first boss in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. He was my director. In fact, he was Director General Americas. And I was on the Americas desk in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs when he first came as Consul General to Los Angeles. And he was actually assisted by my batchmate, Imran Ali Siddiqui, who was the first vice consul on the West Coast, when the consulate
Yes.
was established. So I have that personal connection also with your consulate and the history of it. So I agree. We need to have more visits. We do keep you posted, and we do it through our consulate because your primary point of contact is the consulate, and that's the whole scheme that we have because they are very much part of us, because they are an extension of the embassy. So when
Sure, definitely.
we basically reach out to you through our consul general and through our consulates, and whatever events we plan, we do share the details. We do share them through my Twitter account, through the embassy's Twitter account. We do and send out invites individually also, and particularly to the institutions, because I think apart from individuals, for us, these Pakistani institutional entities are important. And I'm glad that you are keen to play a role in promoting trade, and you are planning to undertake